Rob was touched at how he had seemingly been welcomed into the fold by the mainstays of the Gilly. He and Dermot strolled casually down the touchline behind the manager's benches, and a few supporters dotted round. The pair paused only when Dermot protested angrily at the lack of a free kick award for Yarlsey, after the works team's number 7 pulled the Yarlsey man to the ground. "Look at him, ref. He's trying to fornicate with our players. You're a disgrace, 7. Button a top on that, will you?" Dermot said to the barman after he'd been poured a pint of lager. Rob handed the barman the correct change. "I'll get these, mate. Different granules." So yeah, Rob continued on with his great lie regarding university. The Board of Governors, they wanted me to sign on for another year, but I told them I'd had enough. I wanted to get back here and support Yarlsey Town. "You're a penis, 4, Rob shouted as they made their way back to the Gilly. Over the last 20 minutes or so, Dermot, with occasional interruptions from Michael and Trevor Kravis, took Rob through some of the players' roles. "Ah, that's Claude Appleside, number 6, Rob would say, at which point Michael would heartily chime in. "He's had more positions in the Kama Sutra." Next it would be Tonk Bartholomew, the energetic little left back. "He's up and down that left flank like a Duracell bunny." The next home match was on a Saturday, a league game versus Winton Street. A bigger crowd was present for this one, meaning the Gilly was in good voice, particularly when Yarlsey took the lead in the first half. Rob found himself standing next to Michael Newton for much of the game, as usual wearing his loud Team GB tracksuit. He had a good voice on him. His reading of songs such as "Yarlsey Till I Die" he did in a slow, booming opera, much louder than Rob's. He still considered himself as having a fair blues growl. It was the first time they had talked at any length, and Rob learned that after tax, Newton cleared 1k a week, operating a few minibuses that ferried children around the area. "That's nothing, mate. My brother Guy's doing about 2k a week out in Dubai, and sticking half of that up his Norris." The mood darkened when Winton Street scored a late equaliser, leading to a loud tirade from Dermot about the referee's performance. "It's a royal whitewash," he shouted, hoisting himself up a couple of metres onto the small perimeter fence. Rob noticed how several of the younger fans and Trevor Kravis followed behind to add their own jeers. As the game petered out towards a draw, a loud thud came from the roof. "Kayla Danvers," shouted Trevor Kravis. Kayla wasn't officially allowed to come to games, but she usually snuck in over the fence at home matches, and the club couldn't enforce her ban at other clubs anyway. So she was still a familiar face at away games. The club couldn't really control her movement. They could ping the opposing team a grainy email of her features in the run-up, but how do you police that? She very rarely went anyway now, the odd cup game against the club she had a grudge against, but she's generally a milder concern. Vintage memories of Danvers' antics lived long and prosperous in people's minds. Plumpton, 2004. Kayla Danvers gets chucked off the train at Horsham for molestation. The Gilly habitués all waving at her as the train pulls away, and she ends up going out on the beer in Horsham instead. "She looks mullered," Rob marvelled, as Kayla tumbled down the terrace towards the pitch, screaming, "Yarlsey till I die." 2 minutes later and the game was all over. Apart from Kayla, the rest of the Gilly crew made for the exits. Michael Newton sped off in his classic car, while Trevor Kravis went into the clubhouse. Rob didn't particularly like the clubhouse after the game as it took too long to get served. So instead, he and Dermot debated whether to go for a drink somewhere else while they listened to the faint banging and chanting of Kayla Danvers from the Gilly. "She'll be in there for the night now until they chuck her out," Dermot said matter-of-factly. Rob wanted to go to the Plough as it was nearer to Yelsley Station for his train back to Clipford, and for the same reason Dermot favoured the Black Bull, neither of which would be likely to have anyone else from the match in, so they compromised on JJ.